When Kirby Smart brought Gunnar Stockton to SEC Media Days last week, I think a lot of people just assumed that Gunnar Stockton was Georgia's starting quarterback. However, I don't think that's completely accurate, especially because Kirby Smart quickly told reporters that, hey, we don't have a starting quarterback. I'm not naming one. Let's move forward. So that's where we're at right now. Now, I do think Gunnar Stockton will be Georgia's quarterback when Marshall comes to town to start the 2025 season. But right now, Kirby Smart has no interest in officially naming a starting quarterback. Here's what he had to say to reporters early on Tuesday morning last week, just getting ahead of everything. He said, I don't name starters. We'll see them this fall. We'll see them go through 2 game-like scrimmages against a really good defense. We'll see them in third down situations, and we'll put them through pressure cooker situations. Now, I don't know if this is just coach speak, because it certainly could be, or if Kirby Smart is really saying, hey, it's still up for grabs. Gunnar Stockton still has to win the starting job. Now, I would be really surprised if he didn't. I know Ryan Puglisi is extremely talented. We were covering him before he even had a Georgia offer up in Connecticut, so we know how talented the kid is. And there's a lot of people inside the program and other Georgia fans who were in town for G-Day who watched them both sling it around and say, hey, Ryan Puglisi probably has more arm talent. But at the end of the day, Gunnar Stockton has been with the program. This is his 4th year. He's played meaningful minutes. He helped lead them to a come-from-behind SEC championship win, right? He's got experience playing against really good defenses. He's made big throws. He knows the offense. So he clearly has a leg up on the competition. He's also one of the leaders of the team, and that's something that Kirby Smart had no problem telling to the media, talking about Gunnar Stockton's leadership. He said, I don't think it was a message about confidence, talking about bringing him to SEC Media Days, as much as it was a message about leadership. He separated himself as a great leader on the team. We try to bring people here who can affect others, and he's done that in spring practice. Ryan Puglisi's been awesome too. They're still going to keep competing in everything they do. Gunnar knows that he's got to go out and play well. He's done a tremendous job this summer, and we've talked with the staff about it. We felt like the plays that he made at the end of the year and the way he performed this spring, that he deserved to come. And he's still talking about Gunnar Stockton at SEC Media Days. He's the guy who leads that offense right now. And that's what stood out to me the most. He's the guy who leads the offense right now. Now, again, I don't know if this is to put more pressure on Gunnar to keep him hungry, making sure he knows that, hey, we're not naming you the starter. But that's what Kirby does, right? He doesn't want to go out and name starters. He doesn't want to give anything to the media and the fans, right? He wants to keep us thinking, keep us guessing. And then when we write about it, he gets mad that we're talking about a quarterback controversy, a quarterback race. So he loves to mess with us in that way. But, he's had no problem saying, hey, I don't name starters. I don't do that. Y'all should know that by now. But I wonder if a lot of this is telling Ryan Puglisi, hey, stay hungry, stay motivated. We want you to keep battling, keep competing, and we want you to come to practice every day like you're the starter. Practice like you were the starter. So it's a message to both quarterbacks, but still, you bring Gunnar Stockton to SEC Media Days. I would be more than surprised. I would be shocked if it's not Gunnar, but then he comes out and says, hey, I'm not naming him the starter, right? When Paul Feinbaum went on his show saying, I don't think Gunnar is great. I think Georgia could take a step back because Gunnar Stockton's the quarterback. He said something like that. Kirby Smart just laughed and he said, okay, Gunnar's going to prove you wrong, right? We like that. So even in that sense, he was kind of alluding to, hey, Gunnar's the guy. All of you who don't think he's any good, just watch and see. The kid can play. So in some ways, he is kind of making it somewhat clear that Gunnar is the guy. But then when asked about it, he said, no, that, they're competing, they're going after it. So, I wish there was more transparency, because I do think Gunnar Stockton's going to take the first snap again. I'd be very surprised if he didn't, but it would be nice for Kirby Smart to just tell us, right? So this isn't about controlling the narrative or not being honest with the media. I do think this is a message to the quarterbacks. Hey, Gunnar, we got fall camp coming up. You started the Sugar Bowl. You were the one who came in and when Carson got hurt. You've got the leg up, but you still need to do it. You still need to stay hungry. You still need to keep performing and show us that you can make the right decisions and make the big throws in third down situations, goal line situations, pressure cooker situations, which is what he said, and hold off a very talented Ryan Puglisi. But at the end of the day, he wanted to tell everyone how much of a leader Gunnar Stockton is. This is not a guy who wants to talk about the physical traits, how good they are at playing quarterback. He wants to keep all that, kind of behind the shield, right? He wants to talk about guys being a leader. So he even talked about how Gunnar was affecting the team during the offseason. He said, quote, the locker room and workouts and the way he does things, he's really positive. I stay in their skull sessions, and they both have done a tremendous job. They show confidence. He said, I don't think Gunnar played poorly against Notre Dame. Mike Bobo helped him out, and he also had drops in that game. So, he did say a lot about Gunnar, but mostly it was about him being a leader. He was asked about Gunnar's limited play last year. He said, I think him playing in critical moments in the SEC title game and in the Sugar Bowl means more than playing in mop-up duty. I think it's all perspective. He's done a really good job. The best friend of a quarterback is a run game, and we didn't have that in those two games. It puts pressure on the quarterback to win in other ways. Now, I don't think Gunnar Stockton is a game manager. I think a lot of people look at him just like a game manager. He doesn't have elite arm talent in some people's eyes. I've seen him sling it down the field many times. He threw a beautiful deep ball to Aaron Smith down the sidelines against Notre Dame that people just forget about. He threw a beautiful deep ball to Dillon Bell that hit him right in the hands, went right through his hands, hit the ground. That was a beautiful ball. The kid can sling it. It doesn't look the cleanest all the time. Little bit of a wind up, but it's almost like in the video games where the more you wind up, the faster it comes out. So it doesn't look the best as he's throwing, right? Just as far as his motion goes, but the ball does zip out. Gunnar Stockton has to show the staff that he can do his job. He can make the efficient runs. He can help them expand the run game, but he can get it to the guys to make plays for him. He's got so many weapons. He's got big receivers, Colby Young, Noah Thomas. He's got elusive weapons, Zachariah Branch, Sokovia White, if he, can find a way to see the field. Dillon Bell, right? There's a lot of guys who can make plays once they have the ball. And it's up to Gunnar to distribute the ball effectively, be safe with the football, don't turn it over. But yeah, occasionally make some big throws deep down the field, which he's shown that he can. But if you saw Ryan Puglisi during G-Day, the kid has outstanding arm talent. He is mobile, he's athletic, and he's a guy that has really, really impressed people. So Kirby Smart's out here saying, hey, I'm not naming a starter. I think he's close because it does feel like Gunnar's the guy, but he's out here saying, I don't name starters. We'll see him this fall. We'll see them both go through different situations, and we'll see who wins it. Gunnar Stockton clearly has the leg up, and most people expect him to be the starting quarterback against Marshall. And if he doesn't, if Ryan Puglisi, for whatever reason, comes out of nowhere, I say comes out of nowhere, Kirby Smart's saying it's not out of nowhere, they're still competing. That means Ryan Puglisi is even better than what we've been hearing and behind the scenes and what we saw during G-Day. He made some big throws, but yeah, this is Gunnar's fourth year. This is Ryan Puglisi. This is going to be his second season. He's been with the program a year and a half, right? So Gunnar should be the guy, but Kirby Smart sent a message. He said, I'm not naming a starter. Even though we brought Gunnar Stockton here at Media Days, I'm not ready to call him the starter. I think probably just should, but for whatever reason, I guess Gunnar hasn't showed enough yet. He loves talking about Gunnar and his leadership and his capabilities, but he's still kind of being a little stubborn. But it is what he is. Kirby Smart is probably still the best coach in college football. I think that's more up for debate now more than ever. But if he's not the best, he's 2, 3 at least, right? So he knows what he's doing. He doesn't want to name a starter, and I think it's to fuel the fire within Gunnar Stockton and Ryan Puglisi. But you could read more of this over on Dawg Post. We've got a lot of quotes still that we're typing up from SEC Media Days, but I did think that those few quotes, I'm not naming a starter, and Gunnar Stockton is the leader of this offense right now. Those two stood out to me. he's most likely probably going to be the starter, but Kirby Smart isn't officially confirming it or saying it out loud just yet. Of course, you can read, again, more of this over on Dawg Post. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you over on Dawg Post.